Peace is not absence of conflict. It is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. When you can't make them see the light, make them feel the heat. Surround yourself with the best people you can find, delegate authority, and don't interfere as long as the policy you've decided upon is being carried out. To sit back hoping that someday, some way, someone will make things right is to go on feeding the crocodile, hoping he will eat you last, but eat you he will. We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. There is no limit to the amount of good you can do if you don't care who gets the credit. Don't be afraid to see what you see. The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave. We are never defeated unless we give up on God. Government's first duty is to protect the people, not run their lives. The most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." Government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem. Within the covers of the Bible are the answers for all the problems men face. The best minds are not in government. If any were, business would hire them away. All great change in America begins at the dinner table. Entrepreneurs and their small enterprises are responsible for almost all the economic growth in the United States. While I take inspiration from the past, like most Americans, I live for the future. Heroes may not be braver than anyone else. They're just braver 5 minutes longer. We are never defeated unless we give up on God. The problem is not that people are taxed too little. The problem is that government spends too much. If we ever forget that we are one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. Government's view of the economy could be summed up in a few short phrases. If it moves, tax it. If it keeps moving, regulate it. And if it stops moving, subsidize it. I have left orders to be awakened at any time in case of national emergency, even if I'm in a cabinet meeting. It isn't so much that liberals are ignorant. It's just that they know so many things that aren't so. Of the 4 wars in my lifetime, none came about because the U.S. was too strong. Republicans believe every day is the 4th of July, but the Democrats believe every day is April 15th. There are no great limits to growth because there are no limits of human intelligence, imagination, and wonder. Welfare's purpose should be to eliminate, as far as possible, the need for its own existence. We should measure welfare's success by how many people leave welfare, not by how many are added. Some people wonder all their lives if they've made a difference. The Marines don't have that problem. The best social program is a job. The most effective weapon against crime is cooperation, the efforts of all law enforcement agencies with the support and understanding of the American people. There are no easy answers, but there are simple answers. We must have the courage to do what we know is morally right. We must reject the idea that every time a law's broken, society is guilty rather than the lawbreaker. It is time to restore the American precept that each individual is accountable for his actions. We should not look to government to solve our problems. Government is the problem. When you can't make them see the light, make them feel the heat. Without God, democracy will not and cannot long endure. You can tell a lot about a fellow's character by his way of eating jelly beans. You know, if I listened to Michael Dukakis long enough, I would be convinced we're in an economic downturn and people are homeless and going without food and medical attention, and that we've got to do something about the unemployed. You can't be for big government, big taxes, and big bureaucracy and still be for the little guy. The best revenge to people who insult you is to be successful. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. The best leaders are the ones who have been in the trenches. A leader, once convinced that a particular course of action is the right one, must be undaunted when the going gets tough. To grasp and hold a vision, that is the very essence of successful leadership, not only on the movie set where I learned it, but everywhere. The truly successful leader does not depend on the structure of the organization, but on the people who make up the organization. A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go but ought to be. I don't think any of us have the answer to everything, but one thing is certain. A leader is not judged by what he says but by what he does. The greatest security for Israel is to create new Egypts. If you ever need a helping hand, you'll find one at the end of your arm. Leadership is not just about giving energy, it's unleashing other people's energy.